Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hibah Samad. Thanks for joining us. The Southern California Regional Occupational Center celebrated a milestone today. Located on Crenshaw Boulevard, the center has now been around for 50 years. Alumni, community members, and staff attended. Also known as SoCal Rock, the center has been providing on-training directly linked to the needs of the local labor market. High school and adult students earn certificates in various fields to help them transition into employment and continuing their education. Local employers were on site. Information on upcoming classes and wellness checks were also part of the event. Recently, Assemblyman Al Muratsuchi secured $10 million in additional funding over the next 4 years for the center. Muratsuchi requested that education funds be directed to SoCal Rock through the state's budget.
We were cut off from the state budget at the end of the 2014-15 fiscal year. And at that point, we pretty much had to put together a ragtag budget to be able to survive and move forward.
An unlikely place is rolling out a new menu with healthy options. Provincial Company of Mary Medical Center launched its new menu today with lower calories, sodium, and fat options all day long. It features lean proteins, whole grains, and roasted vegetables. Torrance location is the first one in the Providence family to have this program called Prov Portions because of the small size servings. They plan to rotate 8 different entrees. Today was a grilled salmon with quinoa and cauliflower.
Caregiver program for wellness, where we're promoting the Choose Well program, and there's access to an online health coach. Our caregivers can come once a month, and one of the dietitians is offering advice and consultation so people can talk with a dietitian.
Officials say for the past several years, Providence Health and Services has provided employees with incentives to help cover out-of-pocket health insurance costs. This year, employees have the option of earning points by tracking their healthy habits, including hours of sleeps and daily steps. This cafeteria is open to the public. Torrance students learned firsthand the importance of local government. In its 12th year, Students and Government Day was underway today. 8th grade students were given the opportunity to stop by the police department, job shadow city employees, and will run a portion of the city council meeting on their own tonight. The goal of the program is to help teach effective civic education. Students who recognize and understand how local government works become more informed and involved citizens and voters. They learn the importance of self-governance and participating at the local level. 21 students were selected after they submitted a plan for the city of Torrance to utilize social media and other traditional methods of communication to engage citizens and increase participation within the city's local government. Tune into This Week in Torrance to hear from students about their experience this year. A large eucalyptus tree was removed from a local park today. City officials performed emergency tree removal at El Retiro Park due to safety reasons. Staff recently were doing inspections and noticed the eucalyptus tree was leaning a bit more than usual. Tracy Drake, Park Services manager, says a lot has been done to save the tree. Earlier this year, it was pruned, but this isn't the first. Due to the drought and weak roots, many trees of this kind have been dying. Across all Torrance parks, there are 4,400 trees, and 1,000 of them are eucalyptus. Most of them thrive at Wilson Park, where there are nearly 900 of them. To date, there are 47,000 trees that exist in Torrance. The newest Torrance Transit line had a bit of a detour today. Now through 7:30 p.m., line 4X will be on detour due to May Day activities. Southbound stops between Arcadia at Los Angeles and First at Hill Street will not be running. Passengers are being urged to use the temporary stop on Cesar Chavez at Alameda or Grand at First Street. You can always stay up to date by downloading the transit app from the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. You'll receive real-time bus arrival predictions, view more routes, and make your trip more convenient. A British brewery in town is set to celebrate a milestone. And the best part, you can celebrate with them. Yorkshire Square Brewery is celebrating their 1-year anniversary this week, offering new flavors for customers, a batterfish food truck, a pub games, cocktails, and Morris dancing, which is a form of English folk dance. It will take place this Saturday from noon to 11 p.m. Tonight, during the City Council meeting, 20 new Hometown Heroes banners will be presented. Crews have already added these across the city. You can find them on El Prado Avenue, Cravens Avenue, and Carson Street. The Hometown Heroes Military Banner Recognition Program honors men and women in uniform. To date, there are 129 banners made since the inception of the program in 2012. They're installed each year to coincide with the annual Armed Forces Day Parade in Torrance. If you'd like to apply for a banner, that 2019 application period will start in October. A big-name retailer is opening this week at its new location at the Del Amo Fashion Center. Marshalls will be located on Hawthorne Boulevard, relocating from West Carson Street, and they plan to celebrate the move by hosting a grand opening for the public. There will be giveaways from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Marshalls sells brand name and designer merchandise, including home, pet, and beauty items. The Torrance location will include The Cube, an in-store boutique of contemporary fashion. President of Marshalls says the Torrance store will offer high-quality, on-trend, and brand-name merchandise at great prices. Also, the store plans to add nearly 60 full and part-time jobs to the area. At the grand opening, they'll present a $10,000 donation to the Family Crisis Center. The store hours will be 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday, then 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. Let's get to the weather. Today there were some light showers this morning. There was a high of 62 degrees with an expected low of 55 degrees. Then tomorrow it will stay a bit cloudy with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 53. Then on Thursday the sun will be out with a high of 63 degrees and an expected low of 56. A local student at Bishop Montgomery High School accomplished a rare feat. Junior Matthew Craig earned a perfect score of 1,600 on the Scholastic Aptitude Test. The chances of this happening are very rare, making Craig a part of an elite group of students. We're hoping to sit down with Craig and talk about how he's reaching for the stars. Oreo is offering its fans some new flavors while hoping to get their help in making a big decision. Bringing in some summer-themed flavors, customers can now try cherry cola, pina colada, and kettle corn. These are flavors that were selected from the Oreo creation contest. Then people are now encouraged to take a vote on their favorite. The winning variety will get its creator $500,000. Oreo did make a variety of test batches of other cookies, including flavors like avocado, carrot cake, coffee, and pineapple upside-down cake. The contest received hundreds of thousands of Oreo flavor ideas from fans across the country. The treats are sold nationwide, and voting is open now through June 30th. You can vote at myoreocreation.com. May marks a time to get educated on strokes. It's National Stroke Awareness Month, and statistics show that only 8% of those recently surveyed in the American Stroke Association Ad Council could identify the most common stroke warning signs. The American Stroke Association urges all Americans to learn how to detect a stroke. FAST is an acronym that can help you remember the symptoms, which includes face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911. Stroke is the leading cause of long-term disability and the nation's 5th leading cause of death. Most recently, right here in the South Bay, there's been a spike in strokes. 2 new stroke centers also have opened in the area. For more information, visit strokeassociation.org. And don't forget to tune in tonight to watch the live Torrance City Council meeting beginning at 7 p.m. The city declares today as National Teacher Day and will also announce Public Service Recognition Week in the city of Torrance. And before the next half of NewsBreak Live, here's some events this week you won't want to miss. From this Friday through Sunday, you can stop by Nordstrom at Del Amo. And then next event, on Saturday, you can enjoy Les Miserables Student Edition at Torrance High Auditorium. Ambassador High School Theater will perform the world's longest-running musical. It starts at 7 p.m. Here is Andy Hill performing a little sneak peek of what to expect this weekend at the 28th Annual DylanFest. And we'll be back in just a few after his sneak peek.
You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud about having to be scrounging your next meal. How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?
The thrill of riding in cars with kids. The importance of doing it safely.
Welcome to the wide world of car seats. Up next is Juan, competing in the right car seat challenge.
On your mark, get set, go!
Juan's kid is 6 years old. Important info, but that doesn't tell Juan which seat to choose.
Ooh, nice move getting her height. But he'll need one more thing.
That's it, her weight. But wait, what's he doing now?
You know, it looks like he's checking the size limits for each seat.
He's reading it. He seems to be making up his mind.
Yes, he's chosen the right seat for her age, height, and weight.
Now comes the final hurdle, registering it with the manufacturer. And he's registered! Congrats, Juan. You are a car seat champion.
For more car seat safety excitement, go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
Hi, I'm Jordan Peele. I'm usually trying way too hard to be funny. Well, right now I'm going to be completely serious with you. Online bullying is a toxic side effect of modern technology. No one's immune to it. Not you, not me, nobody. But there's a way we can fix it. This emoji in the symbol section of your phone's emoji keyboard. Use it when you see bullying online to say, I see what you're doing, not cool, definitely not funny. And I know what funny is. I coined the phrase wordness to the turdness. So join me and become a witness. When you see bullying online, use this emoji to do something. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org.
Welcome back to the second half of NewsBreak Live, and joining me is Andy Hill from Andy and Renee and their band Hard Rain. How are you?
Hi, Hibah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and you just showed our viewers a sneak peek. You did an amazing job, and it's a little glimpse of what this weekend is going to be all about. This Sunday, DylanFest will return for its 28th year. That's so incredible. Tell me about the event.
Well, we've been doing it since 1991. It started when we celebrated Bob Dylan's 50th birthday. He's born on May the 24th, and so we now have it the first Sunday every May. And the astonishing thing to me is that way back in 1991, me and a bunch of other 30-something-year-olds were already looking back at a catalog of material by one person and thinking we should do a whole night of this guy. And here we are 28 years later still doing it.
But having an idea and actually making it happen and then having that tradition continue for years, how did you actually do this with Renee Safier, yourself and your band?
Well, it began as a labor of love. I became a Bob Dylan fan when I was about 17 or 18. I was raised in Canada, and back in the late 70s, disco music took over the airwaves, and me and a bunch of other aspiring musicians, we started buying albums at random because there was a better chance that you would hear a good song if you just bought something randomly from the record store than if you listened to the top 40. So that's when I picked up my first Bob Dylan album, Neil Young, The Doors, Van Morrison, those people. And those artists shaped my musical life. So fast forward, Bob Dylan kind of was the ascendant one of the whole pack, and I was a walking Bob Dylan jukebox. And it was just an opportunity to have some fun. And Renee was my music partner and an incredible collaborator and a wonderful person. I've often said that if it were just up to me, I'd be doing the Bob Dylan Festival solo in my room. But because of Renee, we get to do it for hundreds and hundreds of people.
Tell me about the musical duo, you two, and how you guys kind of came together and created this with Hard Rain.
Renee and I met in college at the University of Denver a month or two before we graduated. My girlfriend at the time was a big fan of Renee's acoustic trio and took me to see Renee sing. And back in those days, it wasn't so hubristic to assert yourself at the band that was playing, and somehow I managed to get up on stage and sing Night Moves by Bob Seger with them. And we all liked each other, so I played drums in Renee's final performance at the University of Denver. We graduated, we went our separate ways. I returned to Canada, Renee stayed in Denver. We stayed in touch through the mail for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And then we both moved to Los Angeles independently of one another, got together to play one gig, and here we are 30 years later.
And your performance is great. We've been covering it every year, and hundreds of people come out to DylanFest. It's going to happen this Sunday, all day, right here in Torrance. What can people expect? And the great part is you can start buying tickets right now.
That's right. Tickets are on sale at our website, www.andyandrenee, and you can get $5 off your ticket. They're $30 if you get them in advance. They'll be $35 at the door. And what can people expect? They can expect to come with high expectations, is what I'd say. You're going to hear, one of the great things about Bob Dylan's music is the sheer number of musical genres that he covers. He burst onto the scene as a protest singer. Then he went into mysticism, rock and roll, electric rock and roll, folk, country, blues, Americana. He hits it all, and it'll all be represented at the show, plus some really funny things. Bob had the first music video with his song Subterranean Homesick Blues, and he stands as an ultra cool hipster in an alley, and he's tossing the cards. Each card has a lyric to the song. We reproduced that, but instead of the hip ultra cool Bob Dylan, we have ex-Laker girl Trish Luzio, and she dances around and throws these cards. We have a wonderful moment with his song With God on Our Side. We have a fun crowd participation moment with his song Rainy Day Women. That's the song with the chorus, Everybody Must Get Stoned. And we distribute hundreds of foam rocks to the audience members, and they pelt each other and the band with those rocks, and everybody gets it all out of their system.
Why has this experience, this festival, been so important for you to continue it for so many years with Renee and Hard Rain?
Well, as I said before, it began as a labor of love, but what it has become is part reunion, part celebration. It's still a celebration and a way of honoring a catalog of music that is unmatched in American music. That's primary. But for Renee and I as local musicians, What we didn't expect when we first met all those years ago to do that one gig is that we would meet such a generous and profoundly affecting group of people who have sustained us as musicians for 30 years. It's a relatively small group of people, but they are generous and fun-loving. And a small group of them, which we call the Little Lebowski Suburban Overachievers, are our group of volunteers. And they help us with these big events. And what we found is that people who supported us back in the 80s and 90s, who then moved away and got married and had children, they select this day as the day to return to Southern California to connect with their friends and with us and their previous life. And it's taken on a component of a reunion.
That's amazing, and it's also an opportunity for people who have never been to DylanFest to come out, meet new people, and of course, just have a day of fun. And the great part, I know we talked about this, is that there's dozens of other solo artists and bands who also perform that day besides your lovely band. And tell me about that.
Well, right from the very beginning, we were joined by special guests, but that has become a very big part of it. In our band, we feature pedal steel guitar player Marty Rifkin, who toured the world with Bruce Springsteen, whose shirt I'm wearing proudly right now. And he's a wonderful friend and our producer of our last 8 albums of original material. We'll have on the stage Bob Malone, who's a tremendous piano player, singer, songwriter himself, and is currently touring with John Fogerty. He's John Fogerty's piano player. And then we've got lots and lots of local artists. A fellow named Scott Gerber, who owns Harbor Music down on PCH, a burning electric guitar player and a funny guy. I'm looking forward to see what joke he opens up his part of the show with this year. A fellow named Dave Crosland, great singer-songwriter. Everybody. We had our first rehearsal the other day. The performances were astonishing.
And every year it gets better and better. And for people who don't know about DylanFest, it's a 10-hour event. So do people stay the full 10 hours? How does it work? And what kind of songs can people expect to hear that Bob Dylan wrote and performed?
Well, I'll just correct one small inaccuracy. It's going to be about 8.5 hours.
Okay.
We know 10 hours worth, but we've only got the hall for 8.5. And let's see, what kind of music? Well, we're going to do some quiet folk music. Okay. We have a beautiful rendition of Blowin' in the Wind, where we'll be joined by 15 acoustic guitars who will form a semicircle in front of the stage. And Renee will sing the song from a riser in the middle of those people. And essentially, it'll be a crowd sing-along. So for the older people in the audience who were listening to the radio in 1962 when that song changed music, that'll be a very, very powerful moment. For others, if you're a hard rocker, we've got a band called Dry September that are going to do a Bob Dylan, Tom Petty collaboration called Jammin' Me. You won't believe the way Dave Takaji delivers this live lead vocal. It's just great. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot. The band is big. It's a 9-piece band. Renee and I play primarily as an acoustic duo, and our band Hard Rain is typically a 5 or 6 piece with a great electric guitar player named Kirk Macon. But for this show, we expand to a 9-piece. We add saxophone, pedal steel, and whatever else we need. So you'll see very small, intimate, powerful performances, and then you'll hear big, the pageantry of rock and roll.
So a lot of great music, fun, great people. And for people tuning in right now, we're talking about the 28th Annual DylanFest, and it's being hosted again at the Torino Plaza at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center. So why have you brought it here in Torrance? I know you're local South Bay residents, but why Torrance?
Well, Renee and I have made our living here in the South Bay since the late 80s. So it's always been in the South Bay. For 7 years, it was in my backyard. And then a light bulb went off, and we thought, hey, instead of this costing us money to put on, why don't we make it public, and we'll see if we can make a living. So at that point, we did it for many years in El Segundo, and eventually, you know, I lived in Torrance, so I don't know how we came across the Torrance Cultural Arts Center. I think we were looking, as the event got larger, we needed a venue that could accommodate all the people. And in our search, we found the Torino Plaza. We met the folks over here, and they're wonderful. And so this, I think, is the 5th year in the plaza.
It's a great place to be, and it's local, of course, if you're a South Bay resident. So the event is happening May 6th, this Sunday, from noon till 8 p.m. Talk to me about VIP tickets, what it will get you. If you buy tickets now, how much are they? Tell me all the details so people can go out and buy.
Okay, if you get the ticket on our website, it's $30.
Okay.
And that gets you in from noon till it's over. And you can come and go as you please. We get a lot of questions if if my child doesn't like, if I don't want to subject him to everybody must get stoned, can I take him home and come back? And the answer is yes. You can come and go all day long. If you wait till the day of, the tickets are $35. And if you want to be a real friend of the band, you can pick up a VIP ticket. They're $100, but here's what you get. You get an official Hard Rain shaker egg, so you can percuss along with Renee Safier. You get your ticket to the show. You get a CD of your choice. Renee and I have recorded 15 CDs, 3 DVDs over our career, so you get your choice of one of those. You get a t-shirt, an official DylanFest 2018 t-shirt. You get a DylanFest coffee mug. If you really want to be hip, get yourself a mug. And then probably the 2 best things. One is Renee will cook a dinner for all of the VIPs at a date to be named later on. It's usually about a month after the show. And all those people will get together, will watch clips of the show, listen to audio recordings, and basically just have a great time. And one person, every VIP's name will be put into a drawing, and one of those people's names will be drawn. And for the last song of the night, they'll get up on stage with the band and shout, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll kick into like a Rolling Stone, and they can rock out with the band.
That sounds like so much fun, and obviously there's no festival without some delicious food as well, right?
That's right. The food
You'll have some really angry people.
Yeah, and a lot of hungry people, yeah. The food will be provided by Chef Schaefer, who runs the depot over in Torrance. He's a good friend of the band. The food will be wonderful, and there'll be drinks for sale on the premises.
Great. Andy, I wish we had more time so you could perform again, but is there anything else you'd like to say about the great event coming this Sunday?
I guess I would just say it's a wonderful event for people of all ages. Sometimes you hear, when people hear the words Bob Dylan, they say, I like his songs, but I don't like the way he sings. I'm not in that camp. I almost always prefer Dylan's version. But if you're in that camp, Bob Dylan won't be there. He wasn't able to make it to Sweden to accept the Nobel Prize for Literature. We don't think he's going to come to Torrance. But you should come. These songs are phenomenal. You will find that you learn, to your surprise, that, oh, that's a Bob Dylan song? I didn't know that.
Right. Well, Andy, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you guys perform this Sunday.
Thank you, Hibah.
Thank you. And you can follow Andy, Renee Safier at andyandrenee.com, as well as Hard Rain. And that does it for NewsBreak Live. City Council is back on the dais tonight. And if you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at torranceca.gov. Also, if you missed any portion of the show, you can catch it all on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. And check out NewsBreak Live. Have a great night.